This year, I set the goal of reaching 100 colonies with my new partner and queen breeder, Kasey, aka the Terrible Beekeeper. So at the end of March, we bought 24 pollination hives that had just came back from the almonds in California. These hives were booming with bees, so to keep them from swarming, we've been going split happy and taking off splits every couple weeks. Well, I miscalculated a little on one of my hives, which ended up sending out one of its queens in a swarm. But I was able to catch the rest of the hives before they swarmed and performed an artificial swarm on all of them. The flow is now here, so the bees have really revved up, and I no longer can keep track of what day it is. But every day I am learning so much. So, let's take a look at last week. Guess who just caught another queen? I was just in this hive this is the hive that had swarmed on me and sent one of their queens out and has a ton of swarm cells in there. I pick up a frame and there she is on the frame doing her piping sound, and oh my goodness, I wish I got this on video because I am not kidding when I say I put her in my hand, literally sprinted across the yard so that I could get some queen cages out of the garage. Grab the queen cages. I then start trying to put her in the queen cage, but she keeps buzzing around all over the place. She then hops off my hand, starts flying away. I stop, I jump up, grab her in, like literally in the air, and I'm able to get her in this cage. Like, so happy that I got her just in time. So I wasn't going to record today. I was just going to put my head in the bees, get some work done, enjoy it all without having to pull out a camera. But this is just so freaking exciting. This is why I love beekeeping so much, because that feeling that you get when you catch a queen and you're caught by surprise and you get her in a queen cage is literally uncomparable. Like, I am so freaking excited that I just caught her. I would have lost her if I didn't. So, Also, guys, the flow is on heavy, like heavy right now. We have so many bees condensed in this area, but they are seriously filling up every single cell with nectar. I have never seen so much honey coming into a hive. It truly shows me the difference that it makes having a hive, having even just multiple hives in an area that actually has a surplus of resources and food. So where I was located last year didn't really have that. It was kind of in just out on the outskirts of a city, so they didn't have a whole lot of resources. Whereas where I am now, literally everywhere is farmland, and it's just a sea of dandelions everywhere I look. There is huge wildflower fields. There's an entire field that a farmer planted wildflowers to help repair and regenerate his soil. So like, there's so many flowers for them to pull resources from around here. So it's crazy to see, because literally a week ago, I was starting to get nervous that these hives were not going to have enough food. And then we got the cold spell, and this is only the second warm day, and I'm not kidding. Every single cell has nectar in it in all of these double deeps. Like, I need to get supers on these babies now. Yes. I don't think she's happy. The sad view of some of the things you sometimes have to do as a beekeeper. So this hive is super aggressive, like so aggressive if I even walk in front of their hive, they start flooding out of the hive and start attacking me. This is not okay, and I am not okay having a hive like this in my yard. So I have broken down their entire hive and split them up amongst these nukes I've been building out. And so they're just going to be a resource hive, and I shook them out of their hive, and now they got to find a home, which it looks like. Sorry about that. One of the kids just got stung. You guys know how that goes. We told her to stay away, but she still came up. But okay, so what I was saying is, so it looks like they are going to start moving into this hive, which I'm hoping that hive then tells these bees not to be aggressive. So that's going to be their new home. Since, wow, it's actually kind of interesting how fast they figured out they no longer have a home. I took their queen, and I have her over here. I I have her right here. See, and the thing is too, it wasn't only that she was aggressive, but she was, I don't even know what these bees were doing. They had an entire box full of bees, and then all of a sudden they were only down to a couple frames, and literally they were not making any honey, we're not collecting pollen. Oh, that one has a broken wing. What happened to it? Might have gotten smushed. But they weren't collecting any pollen, they weren't collecting any honey, she wasn't really laying any brood. So I'm gonna actually use her as a swarm lure instead. I'm gonna put her up in a tree and collect all of the swarmy bees and see what happens from there. And then my plan would be to also replace her because, like I said, she is not a nice queen. All of her bees are so mean. And I've noticed too that the bees, they don't even look the same as other bees. They look more stripy, and they're really, really big. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell, but when you look at them, they just don't look like normal bees. So I can definitely tell they're a different species. I don't know if they're Africanized or what, but like I said, they weren't nice. So I said nope and broke them down. You know, not only am I surprised that they're all flooding in here so fast, but I'm also really surprised that the other bees are just letting them come in willingly. The numbers in this hive are about to go crazy. I hope they don't make them aggressive. But yeah, that is actually super interesting to see. And they have all their little nasonoth glands up in the air. That's what they're doing when they lift their butt like this and start flapping their wings. They're telling the rest of their hive to, hey, come over here. This is going to be our new home. And that's how they call them all back. I've actually seen them do this when a storm was rolling in as well. They'll sit outside the hive and do this and call all of the field bees back to the hive. So I ended up changing my mind and decided to move that really mean queen to this Apame hive. I've heard from another beekeeper that they have put in mean queens into nicer hives before, and somehow the bees are able to end up calming the entire hive down. This is the same thing that if you put in mean bees with calm bees, that sometimes those really mean bees will end up making the calm bees also mean, because they all work off of each other and each other's pheromones that they're releasing. So I'm going to try out this experiment to see if I can actually calm her down. But if it doesn't work, then she's going to be cut, because I do not approve of any mean genetics in this yard. So they don't seem quite as agitated as I've seen before.
Yeah, you can definitely tell they like her, see?
Because they're not stinging you?
They just think I'm part of the cage, or whatever it is. They're more worried about her than they are me. Now, if they didn't like me, or they didn't like her, my finger would be lit up. They would just assume that anything in the range killed.
Okay.
But this right here means they'll accept her. I mean, give her 24 hours or whatever, but you could probably direct release her tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, they're just so chill on your finger right now.
They're like, is this the cage still?
Yeah, really, they are. They're like, wait, where'd she go?
You don't smell like a queen.
Alright.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. She'll like that hive will love it.
At the bottom of the hive?
Yeah, because we're gonna direct release her tomorrow.
Yeah. Heck, she'll probably draw some, because well, maybe not. The screen being open at the bottom. That's no different than having a queen in there anyways, though.
To be fair, you could set her on the top bars and just put the lid on and not the feeders. If that's what you wanted to do.
It doesn't matter. I can do either or, bottom or top.
They'll keep her warmer at the top.
Okay, I can do that.
I would put 2 frames in there, even if they're not great frames. Or just move all the frames closer. I don't know. That was the graphing hive, wasn't it?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
So you might need another frame.
This is the one that we brought from home, right?
Yeah, those were the graphing frames at home. Okay.
Say that again?
I think they're sending out her pheromone miles in the hive. I think they like her a lot.
See how they're putting their little butts in the air, releasing some pheromones, and fanning them all around with their wings. I think they're happy to have her. I was a little nervous to see if they would accept her or not, because in the past I haven't had the best luck with getting hives to accept queens, but this hive has been hopelessly queenless, as this was previously our grafting hive, so they took her right away. Here she goes. So the main thing with being able to expand to 100 hives is we need to have laying queens. So that is the main thing that we've been focusing on right now, is trying to get as many queens mated as possible, because once those queens are laying, then we're going to be able to build up hives really, really fast with this flow that we're finally getting. So I've been looking through a lot of these colonies to see if they've had any mating queens back yet, and to my surprise, a lot of them have actually been super successful. We had a couple that went out early and other ones that kind of came back a little late. Also had a couple of colonies that ended up going laying worker on us, but that's just the name of the game. Oh yeah, she's trying to lay. There's a couple sporadic eggs throughout here. So she's trying to lay. See, this makes you confused. It kind of makes you feel like that one has a queen in it, because it looks the exact same.
She could have. I don't know.
Where'd she go? She disappeared on me.
I'll hide her. She might have put a button herself.
Welcome to your new home, Vipladoo. She is now in a triple stack, and she is a Michigan-raised queen that built up on her own here in Michigan. Yeah, that's freaking insane. I mean, a lot of them are buzzing around right now because you tore through their hive, but it looks a lot better when you first open it up.
They're down on the frame.
Oh, you just smoked them?
Yeah, I had to smoke her. There's just too many bees in here.
Understandable.
And not enough places, or not, there's not enough stuff for her to do.
It's crazy because she was just in a 8 frame. What was that, 8 frame or was that 6?
She was in a 7 frame with
double.
14 frames of basically, well, 10
Because she
frames of
overwintered in a double-story 5-frame nuke.
Mm-hmm. Hold on to your knickers. These are the ones that make me feel better when they sting me, but it's like a love-hate relationship.
And we put her in the apiary, and that was 7 frames, 7 on 7.
Oh yeah, 7 on 7. She laid kind of all those. Kind of all those hatched. She now has 8 frames in the bottom, 8 frames laid in the top, and 10 frames of bees on every one of them.
Yeah, no, she's a keeper. This is our main grafting hive that we're grafting all of our queens from, because, like, I'm not kidding. We didn't give her anything this year. We didn't give her extra bees. We didn't give her anything. She did all of it on her own. And born and raised in Michigan.
4 generations now.
Okay. Yeah, no, she's great.
32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. 51 cells. And they're fucking hard. Oopsie.
You're okay.
Everybody does it, but I always sacrifice about 2 or 3 throughout each frame just to quality check and make sure that the grubs are movie and active, and if you get a good active grub, you're probably going to get a good active queen. Cleaned up all the rows. I'm going to use that'll be what I use the grass with, so I don't have to dry grass.
And to really put the cherry on top of the week, I went up to Napoleon Bee Supply and helped him out with his package day, where he sold over 500 packages of bees. There was even a guy that flew in on his helicopter. Like, what? You just fly in and pick up your packages of bees. But the whole entire experience was so much fun, and we all got to do what we love to do, and that is talk bees with other beekeepers. So thank you to every single person that came out. It made me so happy to meet you, and I wish you all the best with your packages this year. It's up to them when they come and get it, I guess. But then are they all gonna come at once?
Yeah.
Stop.